Hi everyone, the new Pure 1.80 public Patreon release is now available, and Peter has done it again with an awesome release, packing in lots of new features. So being used with CSP 1.80 Preview 218, there is now a new tone mapping function. This new tone mapping means more flexibility instead of using Yeebis or Reshade, and this could mean for you more frames per second. Also, there's a try to fix settings button that's been added into the new Pure version. There's a new info page as well on how to use Pure config, and I will be showing those in a future video. Also, there's new Pure PP filters that have new tone mapping features that you can adjust, and there's a new Pure debug function. These are all great new features, and I'm going to show you how the new Pure looks in this video. But first and foremost, we need a car, and here we have the Alpine A110R 2023 version. This is by Secchi Performance. So this is 300 brake horsepower, 1082 kilograms, 180 miles an hour, and this is a sub 4 seconds 0 to 60 cars. Now the extras on this, you've just got one, that's the fog lights, but it has got realistic performance, it's got full PBR, and it's rain effects ready. This is a paid mod on Patreon, so you know guys, I cover paid and free mods. Do check out the link in the description, and remember, any links I've got for Patreon, some of them are free and some of them are paid for. I will always tell you in the video. So I've just downloaded the new Pure 1.80 RAW file, and as you can see, if I double click on it, you get all these different parts of it. You get the folder and you get the documentation. I've then extracted these onto my desktop so we can see them here, but just clicking on the Pure changelog, if I go right down to the bottom, this is 1.80, but don't be surprised that it's not just one couple of lines of updates. The last one that was a public Patreon release was 1.65, so I have to scroll all the way up to 1.65, and you can see all the work that's gone in since then. So a lot of this has been in testing with Peter's PP filter and Pure testers, and we can see now the finished result, and we can actually enjoy this. So that's the changelog. I'll let you guys read through that. There's an awful lot that's gone on in the latest version of Pure. Let's jump into how we're going to install Pure though, because this is a little bit different to some of the other mods you may have installed if this is your first time here. So once you double click on that folder, you will see that you've got an install and an uninstall Pure. If we double click on install Pure, you'll get a black command screen, and it's basically asking you to point it towards the root of your Assetto Corsa directory. Now that here for me is Steam apps in common and then Assetto Corsa. Click on OK, and if it's the right directory, it will then just install everything. It's important as well to look at this command screen and to see what it's doing. So it's uninstalling my older Pure version, it's removing weather scripts, sky domes, Pure config and PP filters, and then it's installing all the new pieces, including the new sky domes. These are the 16K sky domes. Peter has said quite clearly on the write up to this, there's not that much difference in video performance, so do get the 16K sky domes. Let's start up now Content Manager. So I'm running the new version of Content Manager, and I would advise you all to do the same, because the latest version of Pure works best with the latest version of CSP Preview and of course the latest Content Manager. So let's just go into settings, custom shader patch and weather effects. The main thing to check here is that of course you've got Pure selected here, and I can see that it's installed correctly, version 0.1.80. If you've installed it and it's not showing that, then something has gone wrong, so do try to uninstall it and install it again as per the little bat files that we've looked at earlier on. Also, do make sure you've got no strange settings in setting, Assetto Corsa and video settings, especially on your reflections. I put my rendering frequency again on 2 faces per frame, and I have been running ILP Candy 2 from one of the last videos I did on PP filters, but I'm going to use the new Pure Candy for the rest of this video so you can see how that looks on my PC. Also, when you're on the main drive screen, do click on the weather selection there and make sure you've still got Sol 2.5 Sol Planner at the bottom. And as you can see, you can put some different start weather on there, start wetness and start puddles. That's all in progress now, so you can use that for the start of your race. There's lots of different selections there. It has moved from weather effects. Remember, on weather effects now you just have that one selection, but you can change things here, so do have a play about with that, and it gives you more flexibility in starting the race and not having to go into Sol Planner, so do check out those options there. Also, if you've not used it before as well, you have got some dynamic and live weather here as well, so do check out those options. Again, it looks slightly different in this drive menu, but definitely worth checking out. Okay, the last thing we're going to check is just some of the Python apps. So let's click on to settings, Assetto Corsa, and then we're going to check into one of the new areas on the new content manager, which is Python apps. This has been reorganized, so if you sit in a slightly different place, then it's still the same settings, it's just been moved around in the new content manager. Do make sure you've got your Sol planner up there, your Sol custom weather, Sol config, anything with Sol on there that you do need to make sure is ticked to make sure there's no problems when you're actually running the game. Here we are then in game, and today I'm running the Alpine 110R at Mossport 2021. This is a Canadian track, 2.5 miles long and 37 pits, and it's had a big update recently by John R. Now this is a fantastic track, and the reason I picked it today, it's got some great animations, and later on in the video I'm going to show you some of the sunsets and the different tone mapping that we've now got on this new version of Pure. The first thing that you're going to do though, as soon as you've installed the latest version of Pure, is make sure that you go to Pure config and double check what the settings are set at, and that's because you've just installed a whole new version of Pure. So I'm clicking on very high there to make sure that I've got the best settings for my rig. Now there's also lots of different tabs at the top. You've got the night tab. Remember, on the latest versions of Pure you've got some amazing starry skies now, that's really cool. You've also got a sky tab there as well, and if you look on the end you have got the info tab, and I will cover that more in a future video. But just looking at the sky piece there, you can see that you've got your sky textures on, 16K textures on this one. You've also got your PP filter sections here where you've got new tone mapping functions. So do have a look around this and play with it. Obviously you can always reset at the beginning, but also if you are designing new PP filters, this really helps you. You can see there as well I've got the default 16K sky dome textures there, so that's really cool. And just to make sure that this is all set up how I want it to be with this latest version of Pure. I think this is a good point to take a look at the weather effects then on Pure. So of course this is all being pulled together with the latest version of CSP Preview as well. So remember, if you do want external rain, you do need to have a preview version of CSP. It's only a couple of pounds to support these guys per month or for the latest release. So do check out the links in the description. Now I'm just going to go through here the different types of weather that we've got. So here I'm on scattered clouds, and you can see the sky domes are changing really well. I do love the gradual change that we have here. Of course you can see I have still got some wetness on the track, and I've also got puddles on there as well. Do remember as well that that wetness and puddles does change depending on the different undulations on the track. So here you can see it is actually sitting a lot of it into the pit lane, but we can change those on the Sol planner, as you can see on the right hand side here. Broken Clouds is one of my favorites to put on Assetto Corsa. You get some really good lighting effects on there too, and of course we've got Overcast at the end. So they all look really nice, and again this is Pure Candy, so I am using the default Pure Candy PP filter here on the latest version of Pure. I'm just going to take that wetness and puddles off, and we are going to take a look at rain now, because obviously with the latest version of CSP Preview we can put rain on. So let's put full rain on, and again you do need the CSP Preview version for full external rain. So we can see here it started, and we are going to build up the puddles as we go along, but we're not going to leave it too long, I don't think. We're just going to flick through the different lighting effects here. So I hope this is giving you some kind of indication of what the latest version of Pure looks like. I have been covering Assetto Corsa mods for 3 years now, and there's been such a significant change in the realism factor on what this looks like. The latest version of Pure is pretty wow. I do really love it. Now do remember at the top right hand corner here that you've got this setting that you can change, which is the difficulty of your drive through the rain in Assetto Corsa. So if you have got all the latest versions and you're still struggling to drive on a full wet track, do knock that down a couple of notches. I normally have it on 2, which is medium, but you can have it on number 1, which is easy. If you put it right to the top on number 4, it's going to be pretty difficult to drive, and it will be like you are driving through full standing water. Of course we do have thunderstorms as well, and that always looks really great too, and again you've got the sound effects on that, so really good stuff. So let's take a look at sunsets or sunrises, because I think that's going to give you a really good example of how the new tone mapping is making Pure look really different again. So let's just have a look now at this different angle. So this is the other reason I picked this track because it's got some fantastic animation, including working lights. So all I've got it here is on few clouds, and I'm going to move the pointer over to make sure that we're on sunrise as a time. So we're on 550 there, and you can see there's a gradual change in the lighting. And I think this does really show off the new version of Pure. This is all we need to be looking at as to why Peter's doing some of the work that he is. I do think this is a step above on the last version, 1.65. So this is definitely one for you to download. Remember, all the links are in the description, and you can grab this right now on Patreon. So that is the end of the video. I just want to say a big thank you to you all again for all your continued support on the channel. The channel continues to grow, and there is lots more to come in the next couple of weeks. Also, a big congratulations to the winner of my video card. If you check on my community pages, you can read all about that in the next few days. Thanks again for watching. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it, and I'll see you soon.